Hey class, welcome to chapter 5. In this chapter, we're going to look at biogas and landfill gas utilization. So this is going to apply to the biogas we formed in the last chapter from our anaerobic digesters, and is also going to apply to landfill gas, which is formed from the same reaction, but in landfills, which you've been working on a little bit in Lab 1, and we'll dive into in a lot more detail when we get to the landfills unit later on. So our energy system is a complicated beast. There's so many energy users and generators and forms that energy moves around this system, and it's kind of a topic all unto itself. For those of you who are really interested in energy systems, there's a course offered in the fall, Chemical Engineering 516 Energy Systems Engineering, which does a good job at covering all this stuff. So I'd recommend that to anyone who's still going to be in school at that point. But there's a few big ways that we move energy around. One of the big ones is electricity, and waste can generate renewable electricity. Another one is methane in our natural gas system, which waste can contribute to. And then we've also got liquid fuels, such as gasoline and diesel and others. And that's kind of a growing area of research in kind of integration with waste, and then hydrogen and hydrogen carriers like ammonia. And the system is kind of moving that way, but that's kind of more experimental. So waste is a significant element that can contribute to renewable energy systems. It's not the largest, but the nice thing about waste is all that energy is there already, and it's just a matter of using it better. So it's a source that we'll continue to see being developed and utilized more and more as we go forward, and a part of the many solutions we'll need to really address energy sustainability and climate change. Now, in energy, just like in waste, there's a hierarchy. So just like in waste, we want to save, reduce, and reuse before we do anything else. In energy, the first step is always efficiency and conservation. And then we move down to, okay, well, if we really need to spend this energy, what are some better ways of spending it, some lower carbon sources, which is where waste sources of energy come in. Connecting back to waste, when we consume things, we're also consuming the embodied energy that goes into creating them and moving them around. That's what our life cycle analysis helps to quantify. So even just consuming less is going to save energy and save waste. And that's really where you can get more impact than in the actual renewable power generation. But there's a lot of waste that still needs to be disposed, and there's a lot of ways to valorize the energy that's contained in that. And this is through landfill gas and biogas is one of the big ones. The other one we'll talk about is with our thermal treatment processes in our last chapter of the course. So we'll get there eventually, but this is a big chunk of it with using landfill gas and biogas. Now, there's kind of two pathways that waste can apply to solving our energy problems right now, two main ones. One is going the electricity pathway. One is displacing liquid and gaseous fossil fuels. So working on those two areas of the grid, and intersecting both of those is when we do combined heat and power generation. So we're producing electricity, but we're also producing some heat that's going to displace some coal or natural gas that would otherwise be used to make that heat. And we'll talk about where both of these roads lead with respect to waste products. And just a final note in our overview is it's hard to overstate the social impacts of our energy systems from conflict perspective, from environmental perspective, both domestic and worldwide. Energy systems have been a driver throughout since the Industrial Revolution in how the world works and what the world looks like. And it's interesting as we address some of our issues that may be more climate focused, energy sustainability focused, we'll also inherently be addressing all these kind of humanitarian and environmental issues that are linked to the energy sector. So just thinking about our triple bottom line, we're mostly going to talk about technical solutions today, but these all really connect very, very strongly to solving other social problems. It's not hard to look around and see the impact that the way our energy systems have had in so many areas of domestic and international life. So I'm very optimistic about renewable energy, including waste, being able to address those. But like we covered in our triple bottom line, we need to be conscious of those when designing solutions, and not just continue to reproduce the same kind of dysfunctions as we've seen in energy connected situations in the past.